Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Juan Pablo from 100% Finance at 100%finance.com. Mr. Cashflow, Mr. Passive Income, the people's mentor. I got what you need to succeed. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate your viewership this morning. Just want to make sure I stay on time. Topic of discussion for today is business capital for marketing. Marketing purposes. And this is how I came up with the topic, right? I went to a networking event this week to do a favor for a friend of mine. My friend has an older brother who has his own insurance agency. He helps provide insurance such as health insurance to many individuals out there. And he has a bunch of independent contractors who kind of push his product, which is insurance. Okay? So he said, yo, Juan Pablo, because I knew this guy from middle school actually, so shout out to Kim. Yes, I still have relationships with friends from middle school. As a sidebar, what I do is once a month in my calendar, I have a Google contacts group called Old Friends, Old Homies, in other words, right? In which I reach out to them every 30 days. My alarm goes off on my smartphone. I check my smartphone, reach out to old friends, and I just contact them. Just to say, hey, how's everything going? How's the wife? How's business? How's the JOB? How's whatever else is going on with you in your life and your relationships? That's simple, right? Because I understand the value of relationships. So that's why I still have friends from middle school to this day. Close friends, I would call them, right? So back to the story. You're like, oh, that's so sweet, but get back to the money. All right, I'm getting back to the money. Just be patient with me, all right? So I attended the event with my old friend Cam and his brother. So I go there and shook hands, saw his mom and his dad, has the whole family working for his agency, the older brother, which his name is Doug. And I thought that was very admirable, for Doug not only to be an enterprising business person in the insurance industry, but to bring his family along with him, okay? So I'm there, I'm chatting it up with all of them. A few people started trickling in, and I met with Doug in his office, and he began to ask me questions about business credit and so forth. So I gave him, some insight on business credit, how he can use it for his business and so forth. And then I leave Doug to go back into their main conference room to host the presentation, to talk to him about business funding as well as credit repair. Now when I left Doug's office, to my surprise, there were about 20 people in the room. So within the 5 to 10 minutes I met with Doug one-on-one, I turned my back and go back into the conference room, which I just left. There's 20 attendees there ready to learn how they can get access to business capital for their business. So I said, all right, let's do it. So the first question I asked them is, what is the primary use, or what's the primary need, I should say, of your business? What's the one thing that you need to do? And they said, without a doubt, marketing. I said, okay, similar to my businesses. If you're unfamiliar with me, I'm a real estate investor. I have 63 rental units in my portfolio and counting. I have a 9 unit I'm looking at right now and an 11 unit. Okay, so I'm always looking at deals. What makes the thing slow down is just going back and forth with the seller to come up with a great purchase price in terms on the LOI, the letter of intent. But that's a different video. If you're interested in real estate, check out my other content, my other videos on YouTube. Okay, so anyway, so I have 63 units, plus I have an online business, obviously, right, in which I help people receive the financing they're looking for. So it's business funding, credit repair, also low doc mortgages, and we provide coaching for real estate investments. We also do events. We have a lot to offer. Just check out 100%finance.com or the link below for more information, okay? So I had, my own ideas of what I needed business credit for. If you're unfamiliar with business credit, this is what I mean, guys, ladies and gents. This right here, a stack of credit cards, higher than a stack of playing cards. My money team, as I affectionately call them. My homies, my solid partners, the yes squad. They say yes to every deal, every business move that I want to make, right? They do whatever I say, when I say, because they're unsecured and they can be used for any reason. I prefer you to use them for income producing reasons, right? So you can make money off the money that you borrow, but you can use it for any reason, whether it's personal reasons, whatever. It does not show up on your personal credit, the accounts, okay? But it does come with a personal guarantee. That's if your business isn't strong enough to stand on its own, meaning If your business is not in compliance, if you don't have an 80 paydebt score, if you don't have tax returns for your business, profit and loss statements, merchant account statements, and bank statements showing how much money you generate, full documentation, in other words, then if you don't have those things, then you have to go with a personal guarantee. We just look at your credit report, but we do not report these lines on your credit report. Got it? Great. That's what they are. And yes, just in case you're thinking, yes, you can convert these to cash. For those of you who apply for business credit, we give you our audiobook for free. It's about 2.5 hours because it goes detailed, step by step, 7 ways to convert business credit into cash. Okay? And we have that available for you. If you apply and get qualified, the ebooks is yours at no additional cost. Alright? So let's get back into the story. So I began to ask them that question. What was the question? If you're paying attention, hey, what is your greatest business need? What do you need? And they said, without a shadow of a doubt, we need marketing. More marketing, because marketing is the lifeline of any business, even in real estate, right? If you're not dealing with marketers, right, people who find deals such as real estate agents or wholesalers, if you're not sending out yellow letters, if you're not driving for dollars, if you're not posting bandit signs, if you're not doing anything that relates to marketing, then how can you expect to obtain a profitable, cash flowing rental property that can afford you that lifestyle, baby, of being able to fire your boss, saying goodbye to the 9 to 5, giving your boss the deuces, the peace sign, that resignation letter, so you can get that wake up whenever you feel like money, that mailbox money. Again, the lifestyle. So if you're not always marketing for deals, it's foolish to believe that you can get started in real estate and live the lifestyle you want to live. Okay? But I wasn't speaking to real estate investors, and you might not be a real estate investor. But during that presentation, I was speaking to independent contractors for an insurance agency. And they said, we need marketing. I said, okay, so how do you normally market? Oh, we do bandit signs. I said, really? You do bandit signs just like real estate? Okay, so we have some similarities, because with wholesaling, for example, as a prime example, we use bandit signs. You know, we'll buy your ugly house, handyman special, 3-2, need to sell, owner finance. You know those bandit signs, right? That you post on the highway. Either you stick them in the ground, or you staple them onto a post, or you use zip ties to tie them around a metal post. You get what I'm saying, right? So they do the same thing for their marketing. I said, really? I said, well, how effective is marketing for you? Because I understand how effective it is from a real estate investor standpoint, but I'm just curious how effective it is for your business. And Cameron, again, my friend, who's the brother of Doug, who owned the insurance company, he said, well, the ROI is amazing. For $2.50, $2.50, the cost of perhaps a 2-piece chicken dinner, you know what I'm saying? If you go to Supreme Fish, or you go to American Deli, some of y'all know what I'm talking about, back in the old school days. But for the cost of a biscuit and some fries, right, $2.50, they normally receive about 30 leads. And out of those 30 leads, perhaps 2 clients. I said, wow, that's a huge ROI. I said, so answer me this, Cam. If you had the ability to get more capital, what would you do with it? He said, without a shadow of a doubt, I will buy more signs. I will market more and more and more. Not just in my locale, not at just busy intersections who can see those signs, but I would go into other states, nearby states. So I'm currently in Georgia. So he said I would go in Florida, I'll go in Alabama, I'll go into Tennessee. I'll go into these neighboring states in which there's low competition. You know, there's some markets, some cities which they don't have insurance industries, and I post my bandit signs everywhere. And I said, wow, that's pretty good. I said, but have you guys ever entertained marketing via social media? Whether you have Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, pay-per-click advertising, AdWords, and the like. You know, and I'm like, and if you position yourself to be a thought leader on insurance, you know, you're a authoritative figure on this subject matter, do you think that you could perhaps create your own type of platform on social media and attract leads as well? And you can use business credit not only to finance the ads, but also to finance the tools you need for that platform, whether it's a camera, whether it's lights like you know that's making my face shine bright, a whiteboard, whatever it is you need to marketing material, equipment, in other words. And they thought for a moment, Yeah, we probably could do that. Sure, hitting the streets work with abandoned signs, but hey, that can only reach people that drive by on that intersection. But what about people who can drive by your social media online? Traffic, right? Online traffic. And they were just floored by that. And I'm like, yeah, bro, don't you know? I mean, of course, real estate is my bread and butter, but I'm an online entrepreneur as well. So I know a thing or two about marketing. And using business credit for marketing expenses is vital. And this is how I like to pitch it or present it to you guys who are watching me today. If you realize that a Facebook ad, let's take Facebook ads for example. If Facebook ads give you somewhat of a, let's say a 100% rate of return on your money invested. In other words, if you put $1 in Facebook ads and you end up getting $2 out. You paid $1 for the Facebook ad, you drove that client to your website, or drove a number of clients to your website, and let's say you end up making $2 as a result. Wouldn't you just do that all day long? I'm sure you would. I'm sure you put as much money as possible into Facebook ads so you can drive more and more revenue. And of course, if you do the cash flow analysis, you will factor in the debt service, which is the business credit, into that analysis as well, into that equation. So what am I saying? Break it down to sound less nerdy and geeky, right? What I'm saying is, if you put $1 in, you get $2 back. You want to make sure you factor in the cost of using business credit. Of course, it comes with a cost. They're credit cards, so you want to pay some interest and so forth. But it's worth it as long as the client is paying it off for you. And that's what I do for real estate. I use business credit to purchase multifamily properties, and I make sure the revenue I receive from the building, let's say this is the building, right? The revenue I receive from this 10-unit apartment building, I make sure that it pays the water, the gas, utilities, taxes, insurance. These are all operating costs. Property management, because I'm not the guy that's going to be knocking on the doors asking tenant, yo, where to rent at? Or showing up for court. I'm not going to be the guy unplugging the toilet. No, no, I can't even, because think of that. It's ludicrous to me. You have to operate like a business, right? You don't see the CEO of Apple coming to your local store, your Apple store, and sweeping the floor. Of course, he may be humble enough to do that if it's a business need and he happen to be present. Don't get me wrong. You always got to be selfless when it comes to your business. You have to be humble. Okay? I get that. But he's going to have people in place, departments in place. He's going to have staff in place to outsource those activities. They're important, but he can better use his time and his business acumen elsewhere, doing something that has a higher return on his investment, higher ROI. Okay, so that's just a sidebar. So back to the scenario. You got a 10-unit. It's paying all the operating expenses plus the debt service. What's the debt service? Debt that you borrow to service the asset, such as the business credit, or a mortgage, whatever else debt service you may have. So after all these bills are paid, in other words, there's cash left over to put in your pocket. And that's how I do it, so you can live the lifestyle. You're using other people's money to make yourself wealthy. And that's our philosophy at 100% Finance. Use your own money to have fun. Use someone else's money, like the banks. That's what they're in the business of doing, right? Lending money. So why aren't you using the bank's money? Oh, maybe because we have this false belief that, oh, borrowing money is bad. But I'll borrow money to buy my own house. I'll borrow money to buy my own car. I'll borrow money to buy consumer-based products, such as shoes, like I used to do, buy the New Jordans they came, so I could be the freshest person in school, in college. Or, hey, I want to impress this young lady, take her to a nice, fancy, smashy restaurant. You know, Applebee's for that 2 for $20. You know what I'm saying? Get whatever you like. But it was all foolish. Many people have those misconceptions about using debt. Or they're averse to debt, especially when it comes to business use. That's when they start sweating bullets and they're scared because they don't know how to use it. But that's fine. Learn how to use it. And that's what we're here for at 100% Finance. That's why we produce so many videos, business credit books for those who subscribe to the website. So just check the link below for more information so that we can make sure you are an educated consumer. We want you to understand what you're getting into. Okay? So with business credit, you use other people's money to get rich. Use business credit to finance your financial freedom. It's that simple. And that's what I shared with the independent contractors at this insurance agency. I share with them the uses, I share with them the qualifications, I share with them the details of how to use it, all that good stuff. And they just loved it. And so hopefully you guys will be able to take some action and do as they did and apply for business funding. It's a free application. There are no upfront fees. Only thing you have to do is apply for the free consultation. We'll either tell you, A, you do qualify, hooray, this is a funding estimate. Normally you get the business credit within 30 days that you qualify, and typically you'll receive somewhere between $40,000 and $60,000. That's a lot that you can use towards marketing, okay, or equipment, right, or even traveling costs. As I stated earlier, these insurance agents, right, they will travel to other states, pay for bandit signs. So they'll pay for marketing materials, they'll pay for equipment, they'll also pay for traveling expenses, hotels, and so forth. And in many of these business credit cards, they also have reward programs as well, and 0% interest for the first 12 months. You can't beat that. So apply, receive the free consultation. If you qualify, you'll receive a funding estimate somewhere between 40 and 60, but it depends on your credit. So it could be a lot more and it could be less. But it's free consultation. What do you have to lose? But if you don't qualify, guess what? It's cool. We'll tell you specifically what you need to do to get qualified. For example, we'll say, hey, that Bank of America collection, you got to get that removed. Hey, that Chase credit card that you have on your personal credit report, you have to pay your debt to credit ratio down. So pay that card down by $1,300. We'll tell you the specifics. And it does not harm your credit to give you the consultation. We just look at a recent copy of your credit report. That's a soft pull, not a hard pull, okay? So there's no cost that you pay us for the free consultation. And secondly, it does not harm your credit. So just apply so that you can be informed, and we'll educate you on the process.